So I've already went over some characters that I'd like to see enter Death Battle, but I've yet to talk about any characters I'd want to see return to Death Battle. And of course we've already seen them reuse characters as it is. Some, however, perhaps a bit more than others. And just like many of my list videos, there will be rules. First off, I will only be mentioning people who have only made one appearance in the show. And I'm not going to be using characters from off of DBX or 1 Minute Melee unless they've been in Death Battle. Also, these are individuals that I would like to see return, not necessarily matchups or rematches. And finally, and as usual, this is completely based off of my opinion, though I do welcome comments on who you'd like to see return. And so with that, these are some of the characters that I'd like to see return to Death Battle. So Link and Ganondorf have both already had their returns, and since it's been since Season 1, I think it's about time Zelda had hers. Especially considering that a composite Zelda with new feats and new abilities since her episode had first came out. And I know I've talked many times about the need to branch out and use other Zelda characters besides the main three, but even if they're not going to, at the very least can give Zelda her second shot. And since her first time was a sprite battle, I'd like to see this one be a 3D animated fight. Honestly, I think all of the Red vs. Blue characters that have been in Death Battle need to return for a proper Death Battle. And by proper Death Battle, I mean them getting to fight someone outside of their own universe. While I did enjoy the Carolina vs. Meta fight, it would be nice to see her go against someone else, like Lady or Samus, maybe even Bo-Katan. Either way, it would be a shame to waste the chance to have this badass return. To be honest, it would be great for Jason or Michael to have a return. We really don't even get to see horror characters in Death Battle unless it's Halloween. And honestly, they both deserve to have another Death Battle, preferably with less distractions. So we've gotten to see Dante return, so now when do we get to see the other badass twin? I feel like there'd be plenty of entertaining matchups to watch, perhaps against someone like Sesshomaru from Inuyasha, though I would hope that they'd keep to more game canon rather than the new anime. Of course, he's not the only one from Devil May Cry who needs to return. And if you're confused because Dante and Virgil are the only ones to have official death battles, remember I did say anyone who's at least been in a death battle. Though I do feel she's long overdue for having her own official death battle. We did get to see her appear in Dante's battle against Bayonetta until her and Jean left to have their own fight. And while we did get to see the results of that with DBX, I think they should have their own official death battle. It's been since Season 1 when Pikachu had its death battle, and at this time I think it's warranted for a rematch with Blanca. Now, granted, we did see Pikachu in the Ash vs. Yugi battle, but it was just that, Ash vs. Yugi. And while that battle was enjoyable and we got to see more of Pikachu's power than what we did in its first match, it's still been years since Pikachu's gotten to showcase its strength itself. And even if we don't get a Blanca rematch, there's still plenty of other characters like Zatch Bell that I can see Pikachu going against. And those are some of the characters that I'd like to see make a return. So what do you think? Are there any that you want to see Let me know in the comments. Also, be sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, keep gaming.